You may now begin your presentation.
Canada is one of the wealthiest countries in the world. There is no reason for anyone to go hungry.
Today we have a large number of Canadians who are unacceptably too poor to feed themselves decently.
70% of Inuit in Canada are food insecure. That 70% number for our Inuit is the worst in any developing country in the world. This is terrible.
This country can't preach human rights around the world when too many of its own people are going hungry.
We can't get fresh produce regularly. You can't count on it.
If weather comes down, could be anywhere from 2 to 5 days. We're waiting for the weather to improve here. And so when it do arrive here, it should go in the garbage. But you know, it's, to us, that's fresh.
And when it gets here, you pay high enough prices for it and you get it home, and by the time you cut off the rot and what's, wrecked, then you don't have very much left to work with.
This is happening in our province every single day, and we couldn't ignore it anymore. So we started looking into the problem, and that's when things got scary. We realized that this isn't just happening in our home. This is happening in Quebec, Nunavut, Ontario, across all of our homes. So last year, we committed to do our part to help. Last year, we had an idea. What if we had a product that could grow fresh food anywhere? What if it was simple, scalable, nothing complicated? And what if we sold it? What if we used the sales to finance food security across northern Canada? Now, we weren't sure this model would actually work, but we knew it was worth taking the chance.
So we launched Project Succeed. We spent the first year figuring things out. We launched pilot programs and tested out potential solutions so that this year, when we really scaled, we were doing things the right way, right away. This is a complicated project, so before we get into where we are today, you need to know where it all began. You need to know where we were this time last year. First, we needed a product.
We worked with experts to design a hydroponic system. Our systems grow plants indoors without soil or the sun, using nutrients, water, and an LED light. Compared to traditional growing, these systems use 90% less water and can grow produce twice as fast. The best part? They can operate anywhere, regardless of climate, soil conditions, or growing experience. These systems work. They're designed specifically for the north, so they're low cost, don't take up a lot of space, or use a lot of electricity, but they do grow a lot of produce. In 1 year, one system can grow over 300 heads of lettuce, 640 tomatoes, or 1,400 strawberries.
Or one very small pumpkin. Right, so we had a product. Now we needed someone to build it. That's when we partnered with Choices for Youth, a not-for-profit organization that provides at-risk and homeless youth with a range of supports. Together, we trained a small group of at-risk young people to build our systems part-time.
Then we needed sales. Before we even launched our systems, we had people from across the country trying to buy them. And soon we had customers in retirement homes, schools, and community groups, proving that this business actually had some legs.
Right, so product? Check. Production?
Check.
Customers?
Check.
Now we had the model to tackle why we started this whole thing, feeding the North. With the profits, we launched 3 food sharing cooperatives in our province. But we knew if Project Succeed was going to be a real solution, it had to be a real sustainable business.
We knew if it wasn't just going to be here one day and gone the next, it had to be a self-sufficient social enterprise. So this year, that's exactly what we did. This year was all about sustainable growth. Every strategic decision, every achievement, and every story we're about to share happened in just the past 12 months.
We made a lot of progress in year 1, but we knew that that wasn't enough. We knew that this year we had to scale in a big way. So we started with our product. Recognizing there was a gap in the market for a low-cost, affordable system just like ours, we needed to ramp up production. When we first started, we were just making small orders from retailers for supplies as we needed them. So to leverage economies of scale, we started a partnership with CHEP, a supply chain solution company, and they had a few suggestions. So with their help, we streamlined the purchasing process and started working with companies like Rubbermaid to get our supplies direct from producers. We've also gone from sourcing only 50% of our materials in Canada to 99%. Over the past year, we've increased the efficiency of our system and created a lean manufacturing process with zero waste, all while still decreasing our cost to produce and achieving a 40% profit margin.
Next, we moved on to our production staff. We've continued to work with Choices for Youth, and we grew our team, not only to increase production, but so that more at-risk youth could benefit from this program. These young people have faced adversity their entire lives, from illness to addiction to homelessness, so finding a job isn't always simple. Sometimes all they need is a chance to succeed.
And they are. This year, our team employed 12 young people as technicians. When they come through the doors at Project Succeed, they're ready to learn and ready to work. This year, we moved into a state-of-the-art 800-square-foot ergonomic workshop and hired a second coordinator. We provide our technicians with top-of-the-line DeWalt tools, their own workstation, uniforms, and safety equipment. But this is more than just a job for these young people. They receive technical training, workplace health and safety certifications, and with Scotiabank, we launched a financial education program, ensuring that they not only had the income they needed, but the knowledge and skills to use it responsibly. This is proving the incredible things that happen when you give people a chance.
Before the Succeed program, I was spending my days more unmotivated, someone who's sitting on income support check by check. Succeed's impacted me in a lot of ways, giving me a reason to drag myself out of bed in the morning and come to work. Helps me make choices like, staying sober.
And it's this really beautiful product that goes out the door that's built by the hands of the young people. They get to take that sense of accomplishment, right? It's nobody else's. It's nobody else's hands that did this. It's theirs. And that is not lost on them. It's not lost on us either. And that's the opportunity that they're taking, and that's the opportunity that they're really thriving. The fact that I get to have a hand in providing some of that opportunity and providing that system and that safe space and that supportive work environment for young people to come in and really thrive with the opportunity that Project Succeed provides, I mean, I couldn't ask for more. I couldn't ask for a better job, and I'm just so proud of everything that the young people have done and everything that Project Succeed has accomplished.
It's been a full year that I've been with the program now. It's definitely changed my life in a lot of aspects. This isn't just a part-time job that I'm going to a few times a week. It's more than that. I mean, getting involved in the GED program that I got into through Succeed and the workers here, and it is really cool to be involved in something that started off as just another idea and kind of evolved into this like international business, and knowing that I can do whatever I want with my life.
Project Succeed doesn't just build a great product, it builds great opportunities. And now with a streamlined production process and a competitive cutting-edge product, we were ready to take this to market. But before we even sold any systems, we had people from across the country asking the same thing.
Where can I get one?
So this year, we rolled out our full-scale general retail model, where our systems are available online at succeed.ca. We've defined our target markets, increased promotion, and generated a stream of revenue.
We offer our systems in a $350 package, which includes all the growing materials needed for a full year, with 100% of our profits funding Project Succeed cooperatives across the North. Given the low operational cost of our systems, customers see a return on investment in just 5 months. In just 1 year, we've secured sales in every province and offer instructional materials in English, French, and Enactus. Our website is equipped with tutorial videos, frequently asked questions, and a quick chat option for responsive customer service. We use targeted analytics to better understand our customer, and from that, we launched a mini system, perfect for our customers in small living spaces that only need enough produce for one.
With a growing stream of recurring revenue, we had the funding that we needed to expand across the North in a big way. So we traveled to northern communities talking to people to determine the best way to grow produce that made sense to them. Because sharing is such an important part of many small communities, together we landed on sharing cooperatives. Under this model, individuals grow with their hydroponic systems and share amongst themselves. Just one of our systems can grow up to 480 pounds of produce per year. In southern Canada, that's worth about $850. In the North, $2,500. With a model that was adaptable and scalable, we launched these cooperatives from Newfoundland to Nunavut.
That's where we met Megan. We worked with Megan to tailor our cooperative model to what Arviat wanted to see. And together, we set up a 16-person cooperative where she was hired to operate and maintain it. Here, the community hosts educational sessions, educating community members on how to integrate fresh produce into their traditional diet. And we're continuing to expand. Just last month, we brought 3 more systems to Arviat.
In Kanawaki, we met Justin and 14 of his friends at the First Nations Regional Education Center. Here, they've created their own hydroponic facility designed entirely by the youth at the center. And their innovation goes even further, as they're using our systems to experiment on the best ways to grow their traditional plants and produce. This is the entrepreneurial spirit that we see in our cooperatives across the country.
We met Alfred on Bell Island, a community accessible only by an unreliable ferry, putting them at risk of losing their only access to food. The community was ready to take the first step towards self-sufficiency, and a big step at that. They launched a hydroponic system So together, we've launched a commercial-sized cooperative that will have 60 systems employing 12 individuals, giving their island the sustainability they've been waiting for.
Our cooperative model works and is providing opportunities to Megan, Justin, Alfred, and 80 more Canadians in 13 cooperatives across this country. But this is just the beginning. A couple months ago, the Woodward Group of companies took a pretty big chance on us. And with our help, in just 3 months, Project Succeed cooperatives will operate in every community in Nunavut and Northern Labrador. That's 32 more cooperatives. Project Succeed is going incredible places. But how is a Rubbermaid container changing the way that Northern Canadians access fresh produce?
It's because Project Succeed is scalable and adaptable. Because no community is the same, no cooperative is the same, and we don't plan on changing that. Every cooperative we launch is built by the community for the community, and that is why this works. That is why this is taking off across the north.
Our focus will always be food security in Northern Canada, but the benefits of these systems go far beyond just Northern communities. Our systems are operating from St. John's, Newfoundland to right here in Vancouver. We're helping community groups achieve their mandates while funding our work across the north.
Our systems are operating at Correctional Services Canada to provide an employment transition program to former inmates. And through a partnership with McCain Foods, we've launched Project Succeed across New Brunswick.
To help Canadian newcomers source the traditional produce that they're unable to find in Canada, we've launched our systems with the Association for New Canadians. We've also launched systems in 5 retirement homes, providing horticultural therapy to over 600 seniors. Project Succeed is helping new Canadians and old ones.
To educate our Canadian students on the importance of agriculture and eating healthy, we launched Project Succeed in the classroom through a 3-month hands-on curriculum. 8 months ago, Tim Hortons recognized the impact of this program and gave us quite the challenge. Put systems in elementary schools across Newfoundland and Labrador. So we did. Now, we have systems in 102 classrooms, educating over 2,300 students. And last week, we received the news that we have been waiting for. Tim Hortons was blown away by the impact of this project, and later this month, we're sitting down with their senior executive team to develop a plan to put systems in every elementary school in Canada. Not only is this an opportunity to improve the education of over 1.6 million Canadian students, but the sales will fund an additional 2,400 systems across the north.
And it doesn't stop there.
Tim Hortons recognizes the potential to take this partnership global. And as their brand expands to the UK, Philippines, United States, they see the potential for Project Succeed to grow with it, educating elementary students worldwide.
And Project Succeed has already expanded internationally. Our systems are operating in New Delhi, India, with 2 groups of women escaping hardship. And tomorrow, when the rest of our team is heading home, Megan and Emily are headed to Haiti to implement systems in an outreach center, providing healthy food to children in need. Project Succeed gives people a chance.
I'm able to provide something for my community. I'm able to say, okay, the store doesn't have this at this time, but I do, so I'm able to sell it, and I'm able to generate a little bit more income for myself.
See, you could be growing that at home.
Very nice.
Anyway, thanks once again to the Enactus crew.
Oh, it's absolutely fabulous. Like, I always had a garden outside, and there was always mowing the lawn, so all that's gone, no more shoveling snow. So it's nice to have that.
For recess, if you forgot your recess, you could have that, and everybody in my class would be snacking on it. And after class, if you did good, the teacher could say, "Good work, guys, have a strawberry."
The students were getting so excited about the potential things they could grow, and it just brought them home. Like, you could just see how excited they were to talk about the foods from their home and to share their cultures through the foods that they grew.
When Project Succeed started, we were thinking, okay, how can we build 100 systems this year? And now we're a year later, and there's 500 systems in operation, systems being built every week, young people employed, and the future's looking pretty great.
This is why we do this. This is what makes our team so proud. 12 months ago, Project Succeed was little more than a concept, just a tiny startup. We had 42 systems in operation in 4 communities with 3 cooperatives in our province. Our goal for this year was simple but ambitious, to double all of our results from last year, meaning we'd have about 100 systems in operation. Today we have over 500.
We went from 4 communities to 104.
From 12 cooperative members to 83.
And from $13,000 to over $200,000 in revenue.
This year was all about growth, and next year's set to be even bigger. We're on track to sell 3,200 more hydroponic systems, generating over $1 million in revenue. To meet this demand, we're moving into a 2,400 square foot facility with 17 youth employed, proving that together we could build an incredible business, and that business can truly change the world. But we can't do this alone.
We can't do this without Otto in St. John's or Yvonne in Ottawa.
Jack in Tiffany Village or Shivam in New Delhi.
George at Chep or Vic in Rigolette.
Justin in Kanawaki or Justin on Parliament Hill. We couldn't have built this business without the people who have been with us since that first idea.
This year, our team of students have transformed one idea into a self-sufficient social enterprise that is proving that a team of university students can change a nation. But this is just one project. This year, we have done so much more.
This year, we worked with Smart Ice to take ice sensing technology to market to improve the safety of sea ice travel across Nunatsiavut.
Through Home Again Furniture Bank, this year we provided furniture to over 300 families.
We handed off Project Ballpreneur to our participants, whose recycling program collected over 1.8 million bottles and cans, generating over $90,000 in revenue.
Through Prince's Operation Entrepreneur, business boot camps were delivered to veterans across our country, with businesses from this project generating over $3 million in revenue this year.
This year, we ran 9 projects
that offset over 700 tons of CO2.
Gave over 3,000 people a chance.
Started 68 businesses.
Created 158 jobs.
And generated over $4 million in revenue.
This year, our team took a chance and brought together Canadians from coast to coast.
We turned ideas into social enterprises, and those social enterprises are changing the face of Canada.
Together, we're building stronger communities every single day.
Enactus has brought all of us together, and our 55 volunteers have dedicated over 18,000 hours to giving people across this country a chance to succeed. This is Enactus Memorial, where together we don't see Canada for what it is today, we see it for what it will be.
We will now begin the question and answer period. Judges, please raise your hand to indicate if you have a question, and a microphone will be brought to you.
So I'm a little curious on your profit margin. Is that for you, or is that for the people that are actually operating these things?
So we sell our systems for $350. So off of that, it costs us $210 to make the system. So we make $140. All of that is reinvested into the program. So every dollar, every cent that we make from this program goes back into helping Northern Canadians gain cheaper and sustainable access to fresh food.
Okay, and from their perspective then, what does it look like as an operator as you're growing this stuff?
So for going forward, right now, the actual $210 it costs to produce, that includes all of operational labor as well. And right now we're working with CHEP to actually get that margin down to $120 by January 2018.
So then the individuals who use the system save about $250 every 2 weeks by operating the system.
The project began last year, correct? So what made it different this year for you to present it as a new project?
So when we were here last year, we had 42 systems. We had youth that had been employed for 3 weeks. It was very much an idea, and we thought it had so much potential. Fast forward a year later, and this is something that is making a difference across Canada. It's employing 12 youth every single day to come to work and to gain meaningful and sustainable employment, and it's helping Northern Canadians. We've redesigned our product, we've made it more efficient, we've made it better, and we've even expanded all the other groups that we're helping. So now we're working with new Canadians, giving them sustainable access. A year ago, we hadn't been working with Tim Hortons. Our systems were in 13 schools, and now we're at 102.
Thanks. Just a quick question on the organic component of your business. Do you get many questions on organics, and is there a path to sort of an organic outlook?
So right now the nutrients that we use are NPK, so nitrogen, potassium, and phosphorus. So right now we're actually working with a couple of graduate students at our university to do something that's actually organic. So we're experimenting with algae, with kelp, with manure tea bags to come up with some kind of combination that can work well, and this hasn't been done on a small scale anywhere.
Hi guys. On sustainability, 512 units sold and revenues of 200,000. What is your cost base on that, and is any of that cost base subsidized?
The cost to produce the system, or that's the total $200,000 in revenue? Fred?
In aggregate.
Okay, so our startup cost was $14,655.32. We ended up having to sell 74 systems, which happened 7 months after we sold our first system last year.
Your sales model looks like a lot of people traveling across Upper Canada. Do your expenses include all of those travel costs, and can you scale the marketing?
So getting to northern parts of northern Canada is expensive. Quite a bit of our work does happen in our own province in Labrador, Newfoundland and Labrador. So it is expensive, but we knew that at the start. So that is built into the costs that we choose to operate within. So we're also working with organizations to constantly get those costs down. So we work with oil and gas companies and shipping companies so that the transported goods can be done in kind. It saves a lot of costs on our part, but it's also a huge green impact. And then on top of that, we're working with organizations for air travel to reduce those costs. So the Enactus group of companies owns a number of airlines, and they're working with us. We're in early discussions, but we're looking to bring that down.
And what portion of the sales so far are online? That's part one. And then part two is, how do you know people are actually growing produce with this stuff?
17% of our sales right now have been online. The rest of them have come through door-to-door, people reaching out to us. Our website has only been launched for the past 9 months. So in terms of how we know what we're growing, we keep in contact with anyone who's part of our northern community and part of our northern cooperative model. And if you check out social media and Facebook, you're always seeing people posting selfies with their kale and lettuce and tomatoes. In terms of that part of it, you can't grow it. It's the nutrients and the light aren't strong enough.
Your time has expired. Judges and guests, please help me in thanking the team from Memorial University of Newfoundland.